Welcome to episode 14 of the Mile 62 podcast. I'm your host, Richard Elkins, coming to you from Austin, Texas. We cover all things ultra running in the southern United States with a special focus on Texas. Happy New Year, everyone. We got 2020 upon us, and what does that mean? That's a new trail racing season. And I'm recording this on Friday. It's Bandera 100K Eve. One of the biggest races in Texas. Bandera 100K takes place out at Bandera State Park, and this year it's on Saturday, January 11th. One change this year is the 100K starts at 6 a.m. on Saturday, and the 25 and 50K starts on Sunday at 6 a.m. In the past, they started on the same day. So if you need to be conscientious of what day you're starting. If it's the first time for racing out at Bandera, it's about 2 hours from San Antonio, and it's about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minute drive from Bandera. It's at Bandera State Park. So you want to get everything you need in San Antonio or Bandera before you head out to the park, because once you get out to the park, there's no restaurants or stores or anything, and most of the park does not have cell signal. Now you do, hopefully they've improved it, but 2 years ago, last time I raced out there, they had no signal until you got up on the ridges during the races. Sometimes you could send messages, you'd hear your phone beeping. There is some signal once you get up high, but most of the park has no cell signal. How's the weather? It looks like it's going to be wet. Today's Friday. It's supposed to be raining hard, maybe some hail later today, but it's supposed to clear up during the night and be cloudy, partly sunny all day Saturday. But it's going to be a little bit chilly, especially for people from the south. It could be in the high 30s at a race start, and it will warm up during the day. And for the mid and back of the pack runners, which I'm included, it's going to get a little bit chilly at night once the sun goes down. So be prepared. Being that it's going to be at Bandera State Park this year instead of Camp Eagle as last year, you got to be prepared for the sotol bush. That's a plant that it's like a long saw blades, and once you get up on the hilltops, they're everywhere, and you can't avoid them. When you're running single track, they're on both sides, just like a car wash, and they're going to scrape your legs. So I always recommend to wear longer shorts or tights. I'm planning on wearing my Exoskin 3/4 shorts tomorrow, unless it's really cold, and I'll put on tights. But I definitely would not wear short running shorts. Otherwise, your legs are going to get really cut up. And it happens every year. You see people with their legs bleeding, covered in blood, and it's because of the sotol bush. They're on the hilltops, and you can't avoid them. So be prepared for that. Also, make sure you bring cash. The park only accepts cash, so runners get in free with your entry, but anyone else needs to pay $10 a person. So make sure you bring cash out to the park. And usually Tejas Trails has a catering vendor out there, and so it's helpful to have cash. I think they do take credit cards. But there'll be some food on site, but you need to take most of the things you need with you and get them before you leave Bandera. I've been studying the registered racers. Tejas Trails doesn't use ultra sign-up, so it can be a little bit tricky, because with the provider they use, a runner can hide their entry. But it looks like the top pros that are going to be out there is, from the female side, Amanda Basham, who's sponsored by Ultra Aspire. I'm also sponsored by Ultra Aspire. I'm on their ambassador team. She's elite ambassador, so wish her well. We got Elisa McDonald coming down from Canada, really strong runner. Done really well in the last few years, especially like out at Javelina and other big races. Sally McRae, sponsored by Nike. She's coming in from California, a very solid runner. And then on the male side, we have Alex Nichols coming in from Colorado City, We got Ryan Montgomery coming in from California, which is a strong runner. The men's side is a little bit light. So it'd be interesting. There might be some names I've never heard of winning this race. One Texas favorite, Trevor Medding. He's on the Trail Racing Over Texas trot team. If you race in Texas, you know who Trevor is because he wins almost every race. Every race I'm in, I always get a few flybys by Trevor. I think Trevor has a really good chance of getting a golden ticket out at Bandera if he runs a very solid race. He's a really good runner. He's based out of Houston. So let's see what happens. I think that's it for Bandera. It's going to be an exciting weekend. Could be a little bit wet, but it should be no rain on Saturday. I think most of the rain's going to happen today on Friday. And so I'm heading out there later today to try to get my tent set up. I'm going to set up a base camp. And look for me if you're out there. I'll have my Mile 62 podcast hat on. And I'll be wearing an Ultra Aspire vest. And look forward to meet you if you're out there. Also, I'd like to do a technical review on the Jaybird Tarah Pro headset. What is that? It's really exciting because they finally have got a headset out there, earphones out there that are designed for ultra runners. I mean, it's nothing worse than your earphones lasting 3 hours and then having to be charged again. I was wearing Beats headphones for many years. They just don't last, and you're lucky to get 3 or 4 hours out of them. I don't use headphones during ultras. I never have, never will. And but if I'm running roads, which most of my training is done during the week, and especially in my living area, I always wear headphones. It just makes it more exciting, less boring. But I don't recommend wearing headphones when you're running ultras. I could talk forever about snakes and animals that I've seen, and I wouldn't have heard them if I had headset on. Last year, I ran into a 6-foot rattlesnake crossing the trail. I wouldn't have heard him coming through the brush if I had headphones on. 100K last year, I had probably a 200-pound Russian boar run through the brush right next to me. So definitely don't want to be wearing headphones out there. There's a lot of reasons not to. But on the roads, I think they're a good idea. You just got to be careful from cars. If you're running in your own area, your living area, it's no big deal. So Jaybird Tarah Pro. This headset is about $170. I bought mine at Academy Sports a few weeks ago. Designed for ultra runners. They have different versions of the Jaybird. I think the other one's called the Vista. You don't want that one. Those don't have the battery power that the Jaybird Tarah Pro. I mentioned that because the Vista is always on sale. The Tarah Pro is not. So you want the Tarah Pro. So what makes this headphone so great? 14 hours of playtime. Really unbelievable. The pods on both sides are about the same size as every other brand. I don't know how they do it. They must be using NMC battery. I'm in the battery business. It must be a really strong lithium ion or NMC battery powering this thing. I've tested them. I'm seeing about 8% battery loss every hour of playtime. So my estimate, I listen to music pretty loud and also podcasts pretty loud. I'm estimating probably about 12 hours playtime if the volume is high. And one neat thing about this headset is when you turn it on, it tells you 90% battery life remaining. It tells you how well charged the batteries are, the state of charge we call SOC when you turn them on. So there's not going to be any cases like on other headphones where you go out on a run and 15 minutes in the run the headset dies because you forgot to charge it or you left them on or whatever. When you turn these things on, it tells you what the state of charge is, which is really, really neat. These headphones are IPX7. What does that mean? This is a sweat and waterproof rating. And if you don't know what IP means, it means ingress protection. That means the ability to keep water out and dust out. Well, this particular set is IPX7. What that means is the X means dust is a dust rating. So these headphones were not dust tested for ingress protection, but I have a feeling they are pretty resistant to dust. Why? Because the water resistant rating is 7, and water resistance is measured on a scale of 0 to 9. So these are pretty good. You know, in comparison, an iPhone I think is IP64. So the water rating on these headphones is a little bit better than iPhone. Other features, it says it has a switch fit. You can over and under the ear. I do not see how that works. A little bit don't understand that. For me, the way the earbuds come in, you really can only put it in your ear. But they fit snug. It comes with earbuds, different sizes, 1 through 3, and number 2 is pre-installed. They fit fine for me. The pre-installed number 2s, even after a lot, I sweat. You know, I'm in Texas. The humidity's high. They don't come loose, but they do give you a number 1 size and a number 3, which is larger. And sometimes people need a different size on each ear, so it's very flexible. When you set up your earphones, you have to download an app from Jaybird. It helps you adjust your earphones. You can actually do an EQ adjusting. I haven't tried that. You can also set it up with your Spotify account to listen to music and download music. I don't use that as well, but the earphones are adjustable. It's pretty cool. It helps you pair your earphones with your iPhone. It's very user friendly. Controls. The controls are really neat on the Jaybird. So you have a plus for volume, and then you have a stop button, and then a minus button for lower the volume. But the plus button, if you just press it, it makes the volume go up. But if you hold on it, it will transfer to the next song. I don't know about you, but on my other headphones, I never could adjust, change songs from my headphones. I always had to pull out my phone and do that, which is really troublesome if you have your phone in your vest or you're using a waist belt and the phone is behind your back. So that's really neat. I've tested that and that works. So if you hit the plus sign, hold it down, you're going to go to your next song. If you hold the minus sign and hold, you're going to go to the previous song. And you can also answer calls by using the stop play button. So double press, you can hang up a call, press, answer a call, hold is on and off. The only complaint I have about these headphones is turning them on can be a little bit troublesome. Turning them off, I can hear the beep, no problem, but sometimes when I hold the button to turn it on, it just doesn't come on. I have to do it a few times, so that might be a software improvement they need to do in an update. That's the only issue I found with these headphones. So I may have to push it a couple times to get them to turn on. Turning off seems to be no problem. How do they charge? I've got a kind of a banana clip, which is the shape of the control module on the headphones, and it's real easy. It just with magnet, it's magnetized. It'll connect together and charge. The earphones do have magnets in both of the pods, so if you're not using them, you can put it around your neck, and the two magnets will hold the headphones on your neck, which is pretty cool. I haven't tried that, but the manual says you can do that. That's it about the headphones. I think I suggest them. They're really a good buy. I'm not sponsored by Jaybird. I've tried a lot of different brands, and after a few months throwing them away, been through 2 pair of Beats headphones, and these things are superior. It looks like they're really designed for people that are going to be out there running a long time. And one neat thing is 5 minutes of charging is 2 hours of playtime. So it has a really fast charging IC, which is pretty neat. Next, I want to talk about the Garmin Strength app. So I always trying to do Garmin pro tips. as you know, if you've got a Phoenix series phone, just a little bit of backstory before I get into the app is, on the far left on the Garmin series watches, you've got your light. In the middle, which they call number 2, you have the up menu. 3 is down, which is the bottom left, and then 4 on the upper right is the press or play button. That's probably the button you use the most. That's the one you start your runs and everything. And then 5 is back or lap light, or lapping, not lap light. What am I saying? On the strength app is designed a lot like the hydration app was done. So you select the strength app and then you start the timer. And the device can count your reps. And I've done this with curls, and you start the set and then you push lap to finish the set. And then the watch will display the total reps for the set. And then necessary, press down and edit the number of reps. I haven't tried that, but you can do that. When you're done resting, you hit lap and it'll start your next set. It's a pretty neat app. It works much better than the hydration app. I didn't like the hydration app, but this one does count your reps. And I've tried doing my triceps. I've tried doing shoulder reps. I've done biceps. The only one it couldn't count is when I did deadlifts. For some reason, it couldn't recognize that motion. But it's pretty incredible that the watch can recognize these movements and count your reps. But it will do that. Now, the downside of this is if, we're all Strava users. Everybody wants everything on Strava, and I'm no different. The Garmin app will show you how many reps you did and all the details. However, and it's adjustable. You can put different exercises in there and try to tweak it some. However, when it transfers to Strava, it just shows activity and the time, total time. So it doesn't give any details. So if you're just wanting to monitor your strength training on your Garmin app on your phone, it's not very useful. So another thing I've been looking into is I wanted a gel, like a not goo, that's a brand name, gel reminder timer on my Phoenix. They do have one on Garmin that was I don't know if it was submitted by Goo or it was designed for Goo, but for some reason it won't work on the Phoenix watch. It won't let you download it, which is kind of odd. Phoenix is the highest end of the Garmin watch, but you can't use the Goo gel reminder. What I'm looking to do is I want to download a app on my watch so that it tells me every 30 to 45 minutes, whatever I set, to eat a gel. During ultras, that's so easy to forget. So there is one on there, but you can't use it on the Phoenix. So if you're using a different model of Garmin, you might want to try that out. Also, if you know of one that will work on the Phoenix, please drop me a direct message or an email because I'm interested to set it up on my own watch. So going back to my just an update on my race schedule. I'm planning to do the Bandera 100K tomorrow. In February, I'm doing Jackalope Jam, the 72-hour event, which is going to be very interesting. I've never run for 3 days. I'm going to be camping out there, have my little base camp, and just see what I can do. I've never done a multi-day event like that. The longest I've ran is 29 hours. So it's going to be very interesting. And it could be cold and bad weather, which actually I hope it will be because I tend to do better because I'm an older runner, and the more difficult the conditions are, it becomes more of a mental race, and I do better in those type of races. Brazos Bend, I'm doing in April in Houston area, Needleville. Habanero 100, I'm doing in August. El Taco Loco 100K in San Antonio. It's the first time I'll be racing that race. Actually, Brazos Bend, I haven't raced before either. Habanero, this will be my third time. But this year I'm doing 100 mile. I've never done the 100 mile. I've only done the 50K and the 100K. And then in December, I'm doing Brazos Bend 100 mile in Needleville. So I got 200 miles, a lot of 100Ks on the schedule and 200 mile events. That's the most I've ever done in a year. So I got 6 ultras on the schedule already. And I'm thinking about during the summer maybe trying a Spartan race. I've been very interested in those. Maybe do a Spartan ultra race, and let's see. I've been thinking about that, or I may do the Tejas Trails night race series. I've done that before. That's pretty neat. Those are 30K or 60K events. Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Oh no, sorry, getting ahead of myself. I have one ultra tip. A lot of us use ultra shoes or Hoka shoes for trail running. And ultra, I've tried almost all of their road shoes, and to be honest, not too happy with them. I use the Solstice for doing some mile repeats and stuff on the track. It's good, but doesn't have too much padding, so I can't do longer runs with it. I've had the Duo and a few other models similar to that. They're nice, they're comfortable, but the way the bottom soles are designed, they pick up rocks. Rocks get stuck in them, and I don't like that. It drives me nuts. And so I've always used Hoka on the road, mainly the Clifton. I've been using Clifton's 4, 5, and now 6 model. But the last month, I've been starting to use my Ultra Olympus on the road. And that might sound crazy to you, but what I've been doing is, after a few hundred miles, unfortunately, the new Olympus, it wears out pretty fast. Excuse me. Or the tongue on the front is coming loose. I'm hoping they will improve on that. But overall, I love the shoe. I need that extra protection for the trails. I've used the Temp for many years, but the Temp, the new 1.5, just to be honest, I think it's crap. They squeak, make a lot of squeaking noise when you run, especially in the humidity, and they don't have much padding. It's more like the Lone Peak. I really like the old Temp. I still have a few pairs of the old Temps. It's actually my backup one today. But I've been using my Ultra Olympus on the road, and it's working real well. And it might sound crazy, but Dean Karnazes, ultramarathon runner, has been using trail shoes on the road for a long time, because North Face don't make running shoes. At least they haven't until recently. So I suggest try that out. I like it because I get more time with the heavy shoes and get used to them. Anyways, have a great weekend running. If you'd like to follow me on social media, it's Runner RWE on Instagram, Twitter, Strava, and Facebook, and now I'm on TikTok as well. Send feedback or questions to runnerrwe@gmail.com, and please give me a review or subscribe on iTunes. I really appreciate it. And a shout out to my sponsors. Ultra Aspire is my light and hydration sponsor, and Squirrel's Nut Butter is my chafing cream sponsor. Great products, and I suggest you try them out. Have a great weekend.